Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 easiest boss fights in gaming. Number 20, Papu, Crash Bandicoot. Granted, the first boss isn't meant to be all that hard, more of a way to spice things up and give insight into what's to come. That being said, Papu might as well have just been another generic enemy given how easy it was to take him out. All he does is sweep his stick along the floor in a very predictable manner, leaving Crash plenty of room to jump up and give him a face full of spin. Given how Crash is all about jumping and spinning, Papu was a walk in the park. Number 19, Shocker, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Out of the way, Piglet! All of you, just back off!
Spider-Man has a huge roster of villains to choose from, doubly so given how many incarnations exist of each one. In this instance, the Shocker gets the rough end of the stick as far as villain incarnations are concerned in both the game and the Ultimate comics. So much so he gets reduced to nothing more than a tutorial on how to use Spidey's web shooters. Throw in the fact it goes down after 3 shots of webbing, and the whole fight is over in the blink of an eye.
Good old predictable Herman. See you around, pal.
Number 18, Death, Dante's Inferno.
Dante, your fate is decided. Everlasting damnation for your sins.
You would have thought that the Grim Reaper would be rather high on the list when it comes to challenging contenders for a boss fight. What with him being able to literally snatch the souls out of people and all. Apparently Dante is the one exception, as he's not only able to stave off death, but actually kill it? Is that even possible? Regardless, thanks to his moveset being easy to block and parry, it's no wonder Dante was able to steal his scythe and rip him a new one. Worst Reaper ever. Number 17, Old King Cole, Banjo-Tooie. The grubby boiler monarch may look imposing when put up against our favourite feathered and fluffy duo, but when the fight starts, it's clear this king isn't worth his crown. Essentially, if you come armed with ice eggs, then the battle is already won. Even as he fills the landscape with lava, as long as you keep peppering him with projectiles, it won't be long before his limbs start to fall off. This guy is the definition of all sizzle but no steak. Number 16, King Dodongo, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Link has no shortage of larger-than-life bosses across his landmark franchise, so it's to be expected that over the years, there have been a few that have fallen well under par. Our pick of the litter? The infernal dinosaur who doesn't seem too concerned when you throw an endless amount of bombs into its mouth. With a habit of trying to inhale the hero of Hyrule, it leaves us plenty of time to grab another bomb and toss it down its gullet. Another king bites the dust. Number 15, 343 Guilty Spark, Halo 3.
Unacceptable! Absolutely unacceptable!
Don't get us wrong, we were more than happy to blow this little ball of mechanical garbage to Kingdom Come. Not only was it annoying as hell, but then it went all psycho and killed Johnson! You bet we were up for revenge. What we didn't expect was said revenge to be so easy. Not only are its attacks weak and easy to avoid, you're armed with your very own Spartan laser. Land 3 charge burst and it's goodbye to the annoying little monitor. We certainly didn't feel guilty about ending him. Number 14, Gary, Bully.
Why'd you do it, Gary?
Because I can! Because making little people like you and the morons who run this place eat out of the palm of my hand feels great!
But I never did anything to you!
This was it. Time to beat the snot out of the sociopath that ruined our reputation and made high school even more of a living hell. As expected, Gary loves the sound of his own voice, piling on the insults and ridicule while praising how much of a genius he is, while we made our way to the final confrontation. After so much bragging, he had more than earned a knuckle sandwich, except we don't really get to enjoy it, since after exchanging a few punches, he goes down hard. Not that we expected anything else, but come on! At least let us revel in the beatdown!
If I win, you're just another punk!
Number 13. Big Bob-omb, Super Mario 64. As any seasoned Mario fan will tell you, when you see those sentient bombs starting to shake, you had better run for it because they make quite the boom. Going up against one of such substantial size should provide some sort of challenge, or at least make us worry about the size of the inevitable explosion. No such luck here. All you need to do to end this big guy is flip over him, pick him up, and throw him 3 times, which will lead to a rather disappointing bang. Wahoo indeed. Number 12. Cloud and Candy, Yoshi's Story. If there's one thing that Yoshi is known for, it's letting loose with that tongue of his. You'd have thought an enemy with an aversion to said tongue would stay far away, but oh no, not this puffy fella. Stating that it can't be licked, Yoshi then proceeds to, what else, lick it to death. It's almost comical in around 30 seconds the candy cloud fades out of existence only after a few licks. Well, we hope Yoshi enjoyed his snack because that was an utter breeze for us. Number 11. Spark Mandrill, Mega Man X. Question gamer, can you stand still in a corner and press the same button 6 to 7 times? Well, you're in luck, because that means you can beat Spark Mandrill. As long as the player equips the Shotgun Ice special weapon, which you gain from Chill Penguin, Spark Mandrill is hilariously easy. Each shot will freeze him in place for a short amount of time, meaning he won't be able to even reach you before exploding into pieces. Not exactly one of Sigma's finest. Number 10. Very naughty, Donkey Kong Country. The original SNES Donkey Kong Country had some pretty unique boss fights throughout its playtime, but unfortunately the very first one you encounter is essentially an oversized common enemy. Surrounded by a stash of bananas, all this goofy looking beaver will do is casually hop around the screen towards you. This will give you plenty of chances to jump on its head to deal some easy damage. And in every instance where you do hit him, Naughty will stop moving and laugh towards the screen, giving you more than enough time to get to safety. Number 9. The End, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater.
Let me linger in this world just a little longer. I have already slept enough for one lifetime.
A part of the Cobra unit, The End is actually quite a challenging boss, where you have to stealthily pinpoint his position as he hides in the forest. So why is this legendary ancient sniper on the list? Well, there's a very unique and unorthodox reason. If you save your game in the middle of the fight and wait at least 8 days before playing again, a cutscene will play where the End has died of old age. Now, if you can't bear to wait that long, you can go into your PlayStation 2's control settings and move the internal clock ahead instead. We're sure anyone who mistakenly did this was just as disappointed as Snake himself.
I found the End. He's dead.
What the hell happened?
Maybe it was from old age.
You mean he kicked the bucket in the middle of a battle?
Maybe.
Number 8. King Allant, Demon Souls. From Software's Souls series is home to some of the most brutal bosses in video game history. So to say this boss fight was a shock is putting it lightly. After defeating the incredibly tough old King Allant, you must journey below the Nexus to face off against its true form. As it turns out, he's actually a mutated, disgusting ball of flesh, who can barely move and dishes out some pretty pathetic attacks. This boss fight will be over before you know it, as he's completely open to all your attacks. So you'll be just wailing on him without a care in the world. Number 7. Sephiroth, Final Fantasy VII. Now granted, we did just defeat Safer Sephiroth, which is seen by many as the true final boss. However, we can't help but feel slightly disappointed in how quickly this final showdown with Sephiroth ended. Right after their incredible dramatic face-off, Cloud's limit gauge will be instantly maxed, allowing him to use his Omni Slash and easily put away his eternal foe. Even if you opt not to use his limit break, Sephiroth will proceed to attack you, allowing Cloud to counterattack and win the battle anyways, even if you don't have the counterattack materia equipped. Number 6. Ganon. Link, the Faces of Evil.
Join me, Link, and I will make your face the greatest in Korodai, or else you will die.
There's a very good reason why Zelda fans like to pretend that the CDI spin-offs don't exist, as they're some of the worst games of all time. After battling your way through the hell that is the Faces of Evil, you're rewarded with this pathetic display against Link's longtime nemesis. Following some of the worst animation in existence, all he will do is launch some meager fireballs at you. To defeat Ganon, Link will have to throw a book at him, essentially one-shotting the Demon King. Not only is this game disrespectful to the Legend of Zelda franchise, but to Ganon himself.
Why'd you do that?
I just saved you from Ganon!
You did not.
Well done, Link.
Number 5. Lucian Fairfax. Fable 2.
Do you consider that a victory? You're merely delaying the inevitable.
Fable 2 had been building up the dastardly villain Lucian Fairfax throughout the game, so the fact his reign of terror ended like this was underwhelming to say the least. As he's giving out his pre-battle speech, you'll have to bring out a music box to break his shield. You're then prompted to shoot him with your gun, killing him instantly. If you take too long to pull the trigger, Reaver will do it for you, somehow making the boss fight even easier than it already was.
Such a cold world does not deserve its own existence.
Number 4. Mysterio. Spider-Man 2.
I require large amounts of your currency.
Sure, Space Dude, whatever you say, just don't disintegrate me or whatever.
Spider-Man 2 is one of the few movie tie-in games out there to actually receive good reception from both fans and critics, but this boss fight left us scratching our heads. In his confrontation against the Master of Illusions, Spider-Man catches Mysterio robbing a convenience store. As the battle is about to begin, Mysterio's health bar builds by 3 full levels, meaning this is going to be a long fight. However, all it takes is one single punch to take him down, wiping out all of his health. Spidey would certainly make One Punch Man proud with this one.
Say cheese.
Number 3. Electrocutioner. Batman Arkham Origins.
You just saved me a lot of trouble coming here, Batman.
Within the Arkham franchise, Batman has encountered some boss battles that were pretty easy to say the least. Killer Croc in the first game is one good example where all it took was a Batarang to get him off our tail. However, this pales in comparison to the Cape Crusaders' clash against the Electrocutioner. After making a grand entrance into the arena, the Electrocutioner appears like he's going to be a tough opponent to take down. As it happens, all it takes is one single kick from Batman to send him out for the count. Even the generic enemies that follow him put up a better fight. Number 2. Professor Nakayama. Borderlands 2.
Vault Hunter, you may be a walking apocalypse, but I've got my brains.
In the final story mission of the Sir Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt DLC, the main antagonist, Professor Nakayama, finally reveals himself. Just as we're preparing ourselves for some sort of boss fight, he accidentally trips during his introductory cutscene. What follows is him falling down the stairs with his health bar taking damage with each hit. This continues until he finally reaches the floor and dies. To be honest, we certainly weren't expecting much resistance from the Professor, but this defies all expectations.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Bob the Killer Goldfish. Earthworm Jim 2. This face-off is over so quickly it's hard to even call it a boss fight. Earthworm Jim 2 was one of the funniest games of its time, and this is made immediately apparent to players with its very first boss battle. Literally, all you have to do is walk up to him at the end of the stage and let everything play out. After the dramatic fight graphic, Jim will go over, grab the goldfish out of the bowl, and eat him. Quite frankly, it doesn't get any easier than that.
Well done.
What's the easiest boss you've ever faced? Let us know in the comments below.